Do you really need a $100 stethoscope or $200 stethoscope or $400 stethoscope to hear your patient's heart and lung sounds? Or can you use this $5 stethoscope I found on Amazon? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Nurse Katherine here. Before I get into this review video of that $5 stethoscope, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as that helps me tremendously and it helps get this video out there to other viewers just like yourselves. But other than that, let's get into the meat of today's video. How this stethoscope, this $5 stethoscope, holds up to my Bjorn stethoscope or Littman stethoscope. When I was in nursing school, we had stethoscope day. The day you pick out your stethoscope that you're going to use, you're starting nursing school. It's such an exciting day, but I don't know about you, but when I went to stethoscope day, all there was Littman stethoscopes. There were no other options. Now these stethoscopes were expensive. And I was that broke nursing student working 4 jobs in nursing school who was just broke, and I couldn't really afford those stethoscopes. So I got the basic model, not flashy at all. I didn't have any stethoscope accessories. But was it really worth it? Could I just have used a $5 stethoscope instead? Now, as I progressed through my career, and here I am 6 years out, I've realized, yes, I use my stethoscope most of the time, but not all the time, especially when I have patients in isolation. And that leads me into my review today. Let's talk about how this stethoscope, this $5 stethoscope, holds up to my Bjorn stethoscope that I have been using for years after I made the switch from Littman. Now, before we talk about the $5 stethoscope, let me tell you about the Bjorn stethoscope. And I'm only talking about this because I do not use a Littman anymore, and most people use Littmans. Now, the reason I made the change from Littman to Bjorn was that it was more comfortable on my ears, and the tubing is much longer for the Bjorn stethoscope, so it didn't mean I had to get as close to my patient. But acoustically, it was pretty much the same. Here's what the bell and the diaphragm look like of a Bjorn stethoscope. Now, it doesn't have to say RN on it, but that's the one I put on top. I thought it was really cute, so I did it on the diaphragm and bell. Okay, so now that we got that straight, Bjorn Littman Classic 3, they have the same acoustics of what I have noticed. Now let's talk about the $5 stethoscope. This is what it comes like fresh out of Amazon. You open up the package, and just like our isolation rooms at work, it comes in a bag and you have to put it together. It comes in 4 parts. You have all your different little pieces here. There's your diaphragm. As you can see, it does not have the bell side, so there you go. That's one difference already. Here's the top part, here's the tubing, and you can also note the earpieces are different too. They're not as squishy as what your normal would be. So like I said, I am going to focus more on the acoustics of this stethoscope, but I do want to point out another big difference here is the earpieces are not curved, so you can put this stethoscope in either way rather than this type of stethoscope where it is curved, and that's when the earpieces go towards the front. They do not go towards the back. It doesn't even fit in your ear well. And then let's talk about the length real quick. These are actually not the same length. This is much longer than this one, which makes the tubing actually longer, so you don't have to get as close to the patient when you are doing your breath sounds, heart sounds, stomach sounds, all of that. So I'm going to give that a plus on the black one, on the $5 stethoscope, that the tubing is longer. Now, I have used so many of these stethoscopes before, as they're the same stethoscopes as the one hospital that I was working at used for isolation rooms. So even though I just put this together, I still can tell you how the acoustics are. Let me put it in my ears. I'm going to take a listen to my own heart, and we'll see how big the difference is. Remember that mid-clavicular line, 5th intercostal space down. That's the best spot for you to listen to a heart. Okay, so I can hear it really well, and I could hear it really well on other patients that I've used this stethoscope on before. Now let's flip over to my Bjorn Hall stethoscope. Definitely more comfortable in the ears already. Fifth intercostal space, midclavicular line. Alright, and really it sounds the same. Let me try this one more time, because it's kind of hard to believe that this $80 stethoscope and this $5 stethoscope sound the same. Alright, I'm going to switch again. Alright, so going back and forth between the both of these, there wasn't a huge difference acoustically. The one big difference was the earpieces. As you can see, earpieces are squishy over here, and then these ones are hard. But I think the difference is how it sits in your ear and whether there's an echo or not. So the really squishy ones mold to your ear better, drowning out outside noise, but these ones don't mold to your ear as well, but you still can hear the same amount. They just don't drown out outside noise, so you have to pay closer to attention to the noises that you're listening to. So personally, I don't think it's wrong buying the $5 stethoscope. Now, if you're on a bus, meaning an ambulance, or if you're a paramedic and you're working outside the hospital or in the ER, that's a bit more noisy rather than on a med-surg floor where you might want to drown out those outside noises. So I probably wouldn't go with the $5 stethoscope. I would go with something a bit more expensive or something that at least has the squishy earpieces. But realistically, you do not need an $80 stethoscope for basic nursing to listen to the heart, the lungs, and the abdominal noises. Now I'll keep using this because it's more comfortable, but I could hear just as well using the isolation type stethoscope. Have you all ever used these type of stethoscopes? If so, please comment below. Let me know what you thought of them. Did you think acoustically they were different rather than your more expensive stethoscopes? And now I can't compare this stethoscope to a $300 stethoscope like the cardiac stethoscopes because I don't own one, and I'm sure there is a big difference. But really, with your basic stethoscope, there's not a huge difference. If you all are interested in a Bjorn Hall stethoscope, which is pretty much equivalent to a Littman Classic 3 stethoscope, although this one has a little bit longer tubing, you can find that in the description below. There is a link to an Amazon link to this stethoscope. This is my first pick stethoscope, and I have been using this stethoscope for a few years now. Alright, other than that, that is it. Please comment below. Let me know what you thought of isolation type stethoscopes and these $5 stethoscopes if you've ever used one. And let me know your thoughts on other types of stethoscopes. That wraps up today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Other than that, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. See ya, everyone.